Well, hello, friends. I am back. Cancer Stories with Peter Croyle. That's my name. I have been, on the 11th of November last year, 2022, I found out I had the word tumor was mentioned in my eye, a possibility. Radiated, I pulled out radiated disc behind the eye, killed the tumor. The 6th to the 9th of December 2022, I was in hospital in Miami following that surgery. I went back on the 21st of December, just past that 1-year anniversary this week, and found out then that the biopsy came back very risky, highest risk group to go into my liver. And in fact, within 50% chance within 2 years, and yet 8 months later, it's already tumors in my liver. And that's what I've been dealing with since. I relocated to Indiana. The story as it goes here was I go to Parkview Hospital Cancer Center in Fort Wayne. They're really the best in northern Indiana. I've had really good luck with my doctors there. I'm really happy with the care I'm getting. Saw the oncologist on the 12th of October. 25th of October, I had infusion of Yervoy and Opdivo. Yervoy is a chemo drug. Opdivo is an immunotherapy drug that speeds up my immune system to help attack and slow down the growth of the tumors. The second time I went for infusions, and I think I covered that, was the 15th of November. And after that, I had some severe side effects from high liver enzymes, and that was concerning when I went back on the 6th of December. They did not give me the infusion. They took me off of Yervoy. They postponed my next Opdivo until I get better blood results on the 10th of January. I have gone back for a blood test, and the levels of the enzymes were much lower, so I'm not feeling the side effects from the liver anymore, but the high-dose steroids they gave me to push that down. I've been taking now steroids, prednisone, for almost 2 months now. I started on the 1st of November. And that was a dose of 60 milligrams down to 40 milligrams down to 20, and then a maintenance dose of 10. But that's when I went back and they found the high level enzymes, and so since the 6th of October, they stepped me back up to 80 milligrams a day for a week. Now 60 milligrams for 2 weeks. The longer, a lot of side effects from this. Steroids are sort of a double-edged sword. They will knock down inflammation, and that's allowed my liver function to get back into the normal range pretty quickly. But it's not a long-term strategy for attacking, delaying, really, the tumor growth. So this is temporary. I'm going to be tapered down. Hopefully, when I go back on the 10th, I'll be on a much lower level of steroids. And the liver enzymes will be okay, and then they'll start the Opdivo again every 28 days. But boy, that was the first time the liver made its appearance. And that's the way it's going to end, because there is no stopping the growth completely of the tumors in my liver, and eventually the liver function will fail. Can't get a new liver because I've already got antigens of the cancer flowing through my blood, and that's what was filtered into the liver that started the growth of the tumors, and any new liver would do the same thing. So here we are, working our way toward the end, trying to live each day well, and it's easier to do that when I feel well. But the biggest curveball came the week before Christmas, and that is this past week. Oh, today is Christmas Day. Happy holidays. I thought I would be celebrating what I had not done since 2018, which is a traditional family Christmas. I was here in 2018 for traditional family Christmas. 2019, I was on a ship between Indonesia and Australia, headed down to the western side of Australia from Indonesia. That was 2019. 2020 was COVID. I was here, I wasn't working, but social distance, not normal, obviously. 2021, I was on ship in the Caribbean, still COVID time. In fact, the day before Christmas, the cruise director tested positive for COVID. The assistant cruise director tested positive for COVID. They were in contact with all the performers. The show must go on. There were no performers to put the show on. It was a bizarre second week at Christmas up to the 30th of, I think it was the 30th of December 21 when I returned to Miami from that cruise. The last half, there were no performers to perform. In fact, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I was the only person on stage giving my one-man enrichment presentation because I'd not been in contact with anybody and was obviously negative at the time, right? So that was 2021. Christmas 2022, I was recovering from surgery in Florida by myself. My parents they were wonderful. They came back to Florida. They helped me. Dad drove me back from after my surgery. I drove over there. They actually stayed in a hotel very close to the hospital, Jackson Memorial Hospital in downtown Miami, and could walk back and forth to the hospital. So they came and see me the 3 days. It was wonderful. Drove back, and then the next day I put them on a flight to Indiana the 22nd. So they did get Christmas, and I didn't. So I was excited. We planned the traditional Christmas Eve is when we have our big meal. And it is a standing rib roast with all the trimmings, a number of different dishes that we traditionally have with that. I don't eat meat, but I'll eat most of the sides. And I would have done, well, I eat fish, so I'd probably done shrimp or something for myself. That was the plan. Have some family members over, and no. Because last weekend, Dad tested positive for COVID, 92 years old. 2 days later, Mom tested positive, and a day later, I tested positive. So this latest variant, the incubation period is 2 to 3 days. So he brought it in 2 days later, 3 days later, both of us, my mother and I had it. Mom's 90. And of course, I'm fighting cancer. And thankfully, we had gotten the latest booster of the latest variant, which doesn't completely match up with this new variant, but definitely makes it easier to recover from, especially when 90, 92, fighting terminal cancer. These are the most at risk. Sure, we got vaccinated. You should too. I wore a mask going out, unfortunately, trying to get my parents to do that. They didn't feel compelled to do that, and hence, we're lucky though. Dad's tested negative. He's getting his strength back. I'm feeling better. I'll test again tomorrow before I interact with anybody, but it's been since Monday last week. Today is Monday. It's been 7 days. Tomorrow will be 8. I'm hopeful that I will test negative because I've got some friends I'd like to see. So we had no time to shop. Or opportunity because we're careful. We're not going to go out and try and infect people. There are certain things, I've had to do that. I'll go to a store and have it delivered. We can go to the store and have it delivered. We can, I can go quickly in with a mask and in and out. That's about all I've done. Make myself but I'm by myself. I need stuff. I'm sorry. You all should be wearing masks and vaccinated anyway. And Indiana is a hot spot for COVID again because they are not vaccinating and nobody wears a mask. I maybe, one person I see in a store. And that included my parents deciding not to do that. So how do you get by? Well, this is becoming, it's no longer an epidemic. It's now endemic, and it will be in the population. It will be continuing to evolve. Evolution is real, folks. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe chocolate tastes like, dirt tastes like chocolate doesn't make it true. You can believe that things don't evolve, but they do. And have, and will continue to, including viruses. Science. Okay. So how did the week progress then? Yes. So here we are. We had gifts from friends dropped at our front door. We had, simultaneous to us getting this, a good friend of mine in North Judson came down with COVID. He got it separately because the 2 to 3 day period from contact to symptoms. He was symptomatic just before I was, and I hadn't seen him 2 to 3 days before that. I'd seen him about 5 days before that. And so he doubt he got it from me. He thinks he got it from his girlfriend. But so I've been going over there, and his son which he's my nephew, really. I mean, he grew up in our house part-time. He's Cameron, my niece's half-brother. Flew in. I actually, since I can't fly anymore, used points to get him to come from Seattle. And he just dove into the COVID pool at his dad's house. And he came over here as well to see my parents. And he's been driving my car back and forth. Has tested negative every day. No symptoms. So he quite possibly could have contacted this, gotten sick with it, now be immune to it, and not even know he got it. Again, but he's young and healthy. And that's how it hits some people. And other people, it'll lay low. This is, I'm still hoarse from this. Like I said, I've been testing positive, but I haven't tested for a couple days. I'm feeling better. I'm going to test tomorrow before I do anything with anybody, and hope to do something with my good friend. But that is, instead of our normal dinner, we actually had stuff that I made from the fridge last night for our COVID Christmas dinner, which seems sort of like 2020 because it was just the COVID people here. And made lobster rolls, with some good baked beans, sort of New England thing, and potato salad, and it was great. It had a little setting the dinner table for Christmas dinner. I put between two snowmen that went into the centerpiece. I put 2 COVID tests. Yeah, that was our Christmas Eve dinner. Not traditional at all, but we had a lot of fun. And as I said, Cliffy came by because he's with his dad. We exchanged some gifts, and I was able to give him some things that I will no longer be using, that I hope he finds good use of. And he is such a great man. He's my nephew. And even though he's not blood relation, he is been a really big part of my life and a great guy. Clifton James Dozel, we call him Cliffy. Anyway. That was yesterday. Today, Christmas Day, we're still just the 3 of us. We've done our gift exchange, and we didn't have much to give because we didn't go shop. Well, we were not going to give a lot anyway. I mean, what do I need stuff for? So I'm trying to get things for my parents that I can experience with them. So I got some of their favorite sweets and had them shipped in. And the lobster rolls was my idea. I asked them because we're not in Florida anymore, they miss going to Doug's Seafood, and he's from Maine. He had the best lobster rolls, so I did a pretty good job replicating that. There's a couple other things that we're going to do food-wise that I want to do for them, and I'm cooking for them, and we're doing some baking. But today's Christmas dinner, mac and cheese and homemade applesauce. I thought I was going to bake a pecan pie, but we're missing an ingredient, so I'll bake it later in the week. We've got ice cream. We're making the best of a bizarre. Yeah, I haven't had the Indiana traditional Christmas since 2018. No big deal. It would have been nice, but this still was nice. I spent most of 16 months of the shutdown of my industry due to COVID. I spent much of that with my parents in Indiana, just the 3 of us in our own unit, and this sort of felt like a throwback, really, to that period, because it was just pretty much just the 3 of us together, not afraid to go outside because we might get COVID, but instead hunkering inside because we've got COVID. And 4 years after or 3 years after the initial, 4 years. Let's see, 2019, COVID-19. So that and from this overarching segment, I will return to what it's like to fight COVID and terminal cancer at the same time, and it's not pretty. Man, was I weak. There were 2 days I was just in bed. Just splitting headaches, some body aches, but splitting headaches, sinus. I started just feeling scratchy. Really sort of a dry feeling and just scratchy from the virus. And I didn't feel symptoms very strongly at first. And then what I got following that was some bacterial growth, because I'm hocking up and blowing out green colored mucus. So there's some bacterial piggybacking onto what the damage that the COVID did to the mucous membranes of my respiratory system. And then Streptococcus, pneumococcus, numerous strains of those are always present in your airway inside you, waiting for the opportunity to explode. And, that's basically what cancer cells do. That's just, it's a rogue cell that just reproduces rapidly. Yeah. And the same thing with bacteria that then the mucus is combating. But I seem to be fighting it without antibiotics, and I feel so much stronger. I've been lifting light weights. I don't lift heavy weights, but I'm back to my about 80% of my exercise routine. And swimming in chlorine. Chlorine kills COVID, so swimming in the pool at the Y is my goal again. My goal tomorrow, if I test negative, and then back out into the world. But careful. I'll still be wearing masks when I go inside places, because there's other things. I could get a flu bug. I could get RS. I could, anything is that is communicable through microscopic floaters of virus that I can inhale. Yeah, I want to prevent that, because I'm playing a very short game against cancer, and the less I have my body fighting other things, the better to fight the cancer. Well, this is an update. I will come back to you, maybe not until next year. I can't say I'm optimistic that I'll make it through the year. That's for sure. It's highly unlikely, but I'm fighting. And I just want to let you know what I'm going through. This is part of a series on how I'm dealing with this end stage of my life. Still got good spirit. Get my strength back. Yeah. One of the things COVID does, it messes with your taste a little bit. I can still taste, I can still smell, but not like I was. But I'm hoping that will come back. It does with most people. I'm trying to eat, forcing myself to eat, to keep my weight up. That's one of the things that I had when I had those enzymes, that I dropped about 11 pounds in 2 weeks, and I can't afford to do that. So having an appetite and eating good food and trying to be healthy, and maybe even having an extra dessert or an extra roll or something extra. Rather, I'm not worried about my waistline anymore. I'm wanting to keep strength and weight in my body to fight. So this is where I'm at on Christmas, and another report coming soon. Have a great day. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.